I speak. I speak on the plight of culture. This is not an issue of race. Necessity breeds innovation. In a land where the cash comes as fast as we decide to chase it, the money that provides a change to our current inclination, the needs of a culture met with a lack of patience equal the cultivating of the ground and the satisfaction of sensation. We call them third world countries, like Haiti. They refer to themselves as a Haitian nation, while our country right here refers to us as ghetto, and we refer to ourselves as, well, hell, ghetto. And we've begun to see the world and who we are through their eyes. And what we value at the time depends on which direction we're facing. We're like the hands of a clock, ticking and confused. We're divided, may be able to synchronize for 1 second, but the rest of the time spent fighting, that's just bad timing. We're fickle, and we're pacing like caged lions, walking back and forth, unable to focus on a goal longer than one generation. So it's no wonder how and why our children, as we as children, are satisfied with ideas of success rather than reaching success. Action breeds inspiration. It's the opposite of premature ejaculation. When all things come together and fuse for simultaneous transformation, immaculate conceptions, miracles and blessings perpetuate, and those entitled individuals enjoy ideas of grace on rebate, manufacturers' warranties on lives that we take. See, we just want to have a little bit for ourselves, so when we wear a shiny watch and we ain't got no money for gas to put in the tank, we won't pee fake or feel raped by the jeweler that sold that watch to us for 3 times what he paid. What's wrong with a nigga? What's wrong with a nigga walking 16 blocks for a slice of cheesecake? Whether he did or he ate. That's what's wrong with us today. See, somewhere along the line, someone convinced you that it takes cake to get cake, or be a cheapskate to keep cake. But let me ask you a question. Come on. How many of y'all know somebody that makes money off lazy? How much money does lazy make? Mama always said, you can't wait for the stars to align in order to be great. You just gotta be great. See, convenience breeds apathy. We've become masters of suppression with mediocre reflections of who we truly are. Poverty breeds creativity. Ideas of nativity stories conceived and birthed with the dream to make more out of lesser things. Following a star through faith, they were impoverished, not for lacking money, but for lacking king. A spring to elevate us to higher beings, to hold ourselves accountable for our own transgressions, accountable to our own transgressions, sins, blessings in the form of life-altering lessons that we must first be honest with ourselves before entering confession or accepting protection. See, some of us have misinterpreted lying to ourselves as synonymous with job or profession, or as the most expedient means to reach perfection, but that kind of perfection does not last long. It laughs because we are deceived and divided, often relieved that we no longer feel the need to live up to expectations. Deceit breeds ignorance, depletes the innocence of true sources of power, gunning on empty, fumes to breathe in. Our bodies have become the walking tombs, our souls retreat in. The beast keeps on eating because we keep on feeding the ghosts in the ghettos and the monsters of the season for no real reason. The existence of unfavorable things to lives lasts as long as you allow or choose to see it. So please, choose to see something different. Lives repeated like on broken records, over and over and over and over and over and over again. Don't make what they're saying any more true. That's just how many times you expose yourself for the truth, not resting in you. Truth breeds understanding. You should only have to say it once, but I'm going to say it twice just in case you missed it. Truth breeds understanding, relieves the anxiety of believing what you know without forcefully demanding. Tattooed memories release inevitable truths, thoughts omitted from stories recalled like historical abuse or inaccurately painting your muse. And she's smiling, and you're no longer enthused, even more amused at how you could have been hoodwinked or bamboozled in the first place. Take a young girl, delete her virginity, and now now she's lost her tooth, lost her youth, the weight she must carry as a young child, walking in a woman's shoes, doing as grown women do, working with grown women's tools. And she thinks she can fix a man because that's how grown women screw.
Run it back!
The weight she must carry as a young child, walking in grown women's shoes, doing as grown women do, working with grown women's tools. She thinks she can fix a man because that's how grown women screw. But the structure ain't secure. While insecurity breeds distaste, appetites for such things can never be. That's an investment misplaced. See, every action and word and misinterpretation of both will breed. So I ask you, how do you choose to plant your seeds? Thank you. Called The Dancers. I've been working on it for almost 2 years now, and it still isn't perfected, but this is part of the transition, so welcome to what we're doing, what I'm trying to do, what Poetic Expressions is trying to do. The liberation of the mind. Visions returning from spaces lost in translation, captive to words never placed in the right order. She delivered, still delivered, hoping. Me hoping you can see how I mean them, as vivid and polarizing as gaining a new freedom. And here I am. Here I stand, just another man. Here I am, just another aspiring orator of words, writing records of visions, fueled by the hope that the vision and guidance of my pen be received with open arms and smiling hearts, seen universally and as valuable to witnesses more than just me. See, I don't just write for myself. I'm peculiar that way. I'm salty that way. The preservations of a culture through a zealous work. I pray that I reach my potential as potent as I believe the word potential to be. Let it be achieved, reached, and enjoyed in absolute fruition. I decided back then that my failure was acceptable, but quitting was not an option. Hoping you can see what I see in my mind, even if for just a moment in time. So she danced. She danced in and out of the beat. She didn't care. She let the low moan of the drum find its home inside her and stay as long as it decides. Almost like the beat was following her and she was following the beat at the same time. Now that's the true meaning of the blind following the blind and not caring that they ever made any measurable progress. She just wants to dance. She danced for the love of all things serene and tranquil. Calming, she danced. Thankful for the ability to live and love vibrantly. She shakes the monotonous feel of the mundane day away, washes it away with the excitement of her dance. Picture a band, struggling, yearning to catch her, but at the same time, each member not to be successful in their endeavors, because if they were, there wouldn't be anything as beautiful in this world to chase. They continue, they race to slow, they fall back a little. Again, they raced to slow and she danced. Yes, she twirled her sundress and then she'd stop quick because she likes how it wraps around her legs and spins the opposite. She moved and they played close enough to touch her, yet they stayed far enough away to beg. Congo beats his drum. loved to watch the notes glide to her shoulders and slide down her back. And every man in the band whispered, "Dance, Josephine, dance." Wind whispers smooth as Josephine leans this way, rocks her hips serene. She pops the small of her back so strong the band can feel the breeze. Woo! They cheese, shoot, I cheese, and they told me the story, so you could only imagine what it must have felt like to be there. And here he comes, the hat tilted to the brim, where all that is visible of his face bottoms from his nose to his chin. The rest is hidden. He walks to the beat that she dances in and out of, fresh pinstripe suit, black. Removes his coat, loosens his tie, and he glides through the crowd. He dips and slides through the crowd. He approaches her from behind, marries his fingers between hers, and rests his free hand on the small of her back, just above the part of her that every man that ain't about shit is staring at. And they dance. Eyes popped out way far and twinkling. He spins her, he persuades her soul to follow. He shows her off like, "Look, y'all, she feels sexy with me, smooth like a hanky to cheek. There is no beat anymore, but the band does follow with intrigue. The melody, no melody. Their touch would be the words, movements, the harmony, unison, and in tune. No thinking out there. All is instinctive. They are a pair, connected somewhere between the heart, mind, body, or soul, or maybe the beat." And the shades would have a different story to tell. They float through the same crowd, resting on a face of rage, investigating, picking up the pace, still matching the beat with each step. Those shades stun us to some, but only one would be stunned tonight if you let the shades tell it. The light graces the shades, and we watch the reflection of his face. He can see them, those angry shades, stumble onto the dance floor. He breathes hard, he looks hard. His mind begins to fog up. He cannot think clearly or see clearly. Have you ever seen it rain out of a roof? Well, here's your chance. Look at the face behind the shades for the proof. Shades sucks his tooth, reaches into his breast pocket and beats his drum twice with the percussion louder than any drum that can be found in a band. Bang! Man, Josephine, damn. Josephine no longer stands. If he could rewind the time, reverse the beat back to when the first beat drops, back before she drops, before he pops Josephine, before her heart stops, Josephine is like the authenticity of the first beatbox. And with her gone, his life is not. Like all things good have been detoxed, purged from his body, from his Caesar to his Reeboks. Malicious hearts don't have targeting or intended victims, just victims of the ill-fated intentions laced in crimson. Did he ever mention? Did she ever mention she had a husband? Did she ever mention he's been loving her at home, loving her from afar? And even as he stands where his feet tread and where they lay lifeless and dead, he's loving her right there where they are. So he'll stand. He'll stand and he'll wait for badges to come, questioning, asking like where he was last, or is this a crime of passion, or just some silly action of a haiku hoodlum licking shots through a window while passing. And he'd say, this is me trying to love my wife, not to love her in rations. So either we soar to experience beauty together, or we go down crashing. So how about you go out there and find a man that did this to my woman and thrash him? To be continued. Thank you.